What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Dominic Peterson, host of the Doug Zone 503 podcast, where we talk all things Oregon football. Whether it's your first time viewing or long time viewer, kindly ask that you hit that like and subscribe button down below. Really helps with the algorithm, but most importantly, guys, telling your friends and family, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your dog, your cat, all that and above about the podcast here on YouTube really helps grow it the fastest. All right, guys, so I got a special guest today here on the podcast to recap their visit to Oregon. They were just on campus last weekend. The player I'm talking about today is 2024 three-star running back Daejon Riggs. Man, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm good over here. Everything's good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Real excited to talk to you about this visit. I always love to get the recruits that were on campus last weekend to come on, explain their visit, who they met, who they talked to. So let's get into it. Let's introduce you first and foremost. Daejon Riggs is coming out of St. John High School out there in Washington, D.C., standing 6 foot, 202 pounds. Do we have an update?
I'm 200 now, even.
200. Okay, so dropped a little bit of weight there. 247 Sports Composite got you ranked as the number 56 running back in the 2024 class, number 4 player in DC, and number 644th player nationally. Want to personally congratulate you on that, man, coming in as a 3-star, battling. You got another year to jump those rankings, man, so I'll be watching for sure.
What's that?
All right, so to start out these interviews, I always like to take it back to your early life. Where did you grow up at, and, how do you think that shaped you into the man you are today, growing up in that area?
I grew up in Virginia. Me and my mother and father. During that period, football and basketball was my life. So
Nice.
I, I was raised around basketball, first love, but then I found the love of football. And when I found the love of football, it just created me to this man I am today. I'm very hard working. I love the sport, and I can't rest. I'm always working because I love it.
100%. I love it, man. So you started out growing up in Virginia. How did you end up in Washington, D.C.?
That's a great question. I lived in Virginia for a couple of years till I was like 9. Then we moved. I played with a team called Bowie Bulldogs for a very long for 2 years. And then my last year, my mom was like, "Hey, let's move you to another team." So I played with Maryland Heat. Shout out Coach Bird. Played with Maryland Heat. I got introduced to Pat Ward, and from there everything just went up. And then I ended up going to St. John's College High School.
Oh, man, 100%. I see how all that lined up, all the connections working out perfect. You also mentioned you're a multi-sport athlete playing basketball and football. What age did you start playing? What sport did you start out first?
What sport? I started out basketball first.
Okay,
And basketball was my love. I played it all the way till I was like 17, 16.
nice.
Still play it now, just not at the high level as I used to play it. But I played basketball very high level. I played for my school for a minute, and then I just started playing straight football. So
Okay, so 100% but football. And when did you start getting in the game of football? Was it around the same age, and you played both sports all the way up till where you just took football seriously?
yeah, I played both sports around the same time. It's just I started basketball maybe like 2 years before I started playing football.
Okay,
So once
nice.
I realized like, whoa, like I can really do something with this. Cause
Yeah.
I was real good at basketball, but then football was like, whoa, like, so when I saw that I had good potential in making it far in football, I just took it from there.
Awesome, man. Yeah, the game of football, you started early. Playing basketball at the same time helps build those skills. How do you think it helped you being a multi-sport athlete playing basketball and football at the same time? How do you think that
Uh
helped you in football?
Basketball is like football is like one-on-ones, DBs, linebackers. It helps you move, and it's non-stop in basketball. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. So in football, it's more easier, more break periods, and then on top of that, making defender miss. That's my favorite. People call me a little shady.
Okay.
I didn't know why they called me that until I searched it up who Shady was. So when I searched it, I was like, okay, that makes sense. So open field. I love making people miss. It's just nature. It comes from basketball because that's what I work on a lot,
Yeah.
and it helps you a lot with your vision, IQ, maturity, things of that nature. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. I back in high school when I played basketball and football as well. And one thing that I loved about basketball and during basketball season is always help my conditioning.
hmm
Always running and running on the basketball court really helps out 100%. Okay, so when you're playing football, you're playing all these years, you started early. When did you start to realize like, or is there a certain moment, a certain achievement maybe you had where you knew you were becoming elite at the sport football and you could take this to another level? Is there a certain moment or play or
Uh,
something happen?
Sophomore year, I wasn't really feeling the basketball situation anymore because a couple of difficulties. So I began to take football very seriously. I started working out. I started uh, lifting weights. I never started lifting weights till my sophomore year. So I started lifting heavy weight. I
Nice.
started really dedicating my time to football. And my 11th grade year, everybody kept saying it was going to be my year. It was going to be my year. And then I went out there and I just had a ball. I was just playing football and just having fun. And then I had no offers coming in
Mm,
my junior year. I maybe had one offer.
okay.
After that, everything just shot up from there.
Nice.
And I seen my potential and where I could go in this sport. So I just stuck with it.
100%, man. Seeing your potential, and I'm sure those coaches see that potential. You got a nice list of offers. You're taking visits to Oregon. What areas are you most confident in your game on the field? Would you say?
My areas on the field, any position you put me in. At St. John's, I played quarterback, I played running back,
Oh,
play wide
nice.
receiver. I played DB as well. I did play DB, but on the field, something that's like real, like good about my game. I have great balance.
Okay.
Uh, I can beat you 1-on-1. I can always make the first person miss, and it might take three people to take me down, but you know, that's just good parts of my game. So yeah.
Love it. 100%, man. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I haven't watched your film yet. There's a lot of guys to get to, but I can't wait to watch. I love watching film, man. I love watching the guys, especially after the visits to see who we're working with, and I can't wait to watch your film 100%. All right, so let's get into your visit questions here. You just took a recent visit to Oregon. Just off the top of your head, what stood out to you most about, going to Eugene?
Man, Coach Locke, man. Coach Locke,
Shout out Coach Locke. He's a great
Coach
guy.
Locke, my guy. First day I came up there, felt great vibes. When I walked in the building, it was nothing but love. Saw Coach Locke, straight connected. Got into the running back group. We was in the room in the meeting, listened to them talk. He treats his players like his sons. He
Yeah.
treats them very well. I met Coach Landon, probably the best head coach I've ever met. He has a great personality, good person. He's gonna keep it real with you, and yeah, everything else is just boom. Like when I got there, it was just like boom. Like
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
100%. Yeah, Coach Locke, man, he's a great guy. Every time he speaks, man, it just you want to run through a wall for that guy every time he speaks.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%, man. He's very motivational, very, very, very Christian guy, very I love him, man. I love Coach Locke. Um, I've seen your photos, man, looking clean. How's the photo shoot? How'd you like it?
Photo shoot was good, especially
Yeah.
taking a picture with Coach Landon and Coach Locke. It was good.
Yeah, that's gotta
Um,
be awesome.
and they also playing some good music, some good music. You
Yeah,
know, so
100%.
yeah, everything was good though.
Yeah, the recruits always like to tell their stories with the photo shoot because Oregon, everybody kind of has the uniforms now going, but like Oregon, they started that thing, man. They were the first ones with all the uniforms coming out. So when they get the chance to go through every uniform Oregon has and put it on, they come out with some crazy combos that I wish Oregon would wear on the field, man. All right, so yeah, you talked to Coach Law, Coach Lanning. In specific, what were the conversations like? What are they kind of telling you? What do they think about you? And just give us the real, man. What were they talking to you
Um,
about?
Coach Locks was basically talking to me about how he loves my game. He really wants me up Oregon, and I love Coach Lock because the way he pours, he shows that he really want me. So
Yeah.
that's a good part in this recruiting process because a lot of people gonna offer you, but a lot of people not gonna give you that time. Sit and send you quotes, sit on the phone with you, talk to you about football, talk to you more than just football, send you quotes about God, talk about God. Come
Mhm.
from a God family, so a
Yeah.
coach that just is like that is good. He was talking about how he loves his guys like they're his kids. He want to see nothing but great for us, and he want to see me in the league one day. And that actually stood out to me a lot because
Yeah.
that shows me that he sees a lot of potential in me. He can take me far. Coach Landon, when I seen him, it was just straight like great vibes. We was in there laughing, giggling. Coach was telling me about the facility, the academic wise, football wise. He asked me that I love the offense. I love the offense.
Nice.
Offense, the offense can be built around me. I like that. The way how the running backs are not just stationary. They're not just in the backfield. They're able to move to outside slot. Do a lot of things. And he was telling me how I can make a difference if I come to Oregon.
Love it, man. I love those conversations, man. I love getting the in-depth knowledge of what you guys were talking about too. Thank you for that. Talking to the coaches is one thing. I don't know if any players are around on these visits. Did you happen to catch up with any active Oregon players and talk to them about how it is being an Oregon Duck or anything like that?
Yes, I actually caught up with the transfer corner I got, Reek from Bama.
Oh,
I
okay.
got
Kyrie Jackson.
I got
Okay? Yeah.
to meet him. He told me Oregon's great. That's why he came there. He was looking for something new, and they had everything he needed. So, yeah.
Great. Yeah. I can't wait to see what he can do. Big time transfer.
Mhm.
So you had it sounds like you had a great visit, got a real connection with these coaches. Just off the top, does this put Oregon at the top of your list of schools so far?
So far, yeah, top 5, most definitely.
Okay.
I most
Nice.
definitely, I most definitely got to come back. We already got a schedule, so
Okay.
definitely. Yeah,
Great. Yeah, that was actually my next question. Do you have a set date on when you're coming
yeah.
back or
I still have a set date,
you
June
do?
16th. Yeah, June 16th through the 18th
Oh,
or the
June
20th.
June 16th through the 18th, you're coming back to Oregon. Sweet. Boom. Breaking news right here on the podcast, guys. We got a new visitor for June. All right. So, and speaking about overall, all your visits, what are your next couple visits coming up? Do you have any other visits?
Going to Ohio State,
Oh, nice.
maybe Texas. Still contemplating.
Sweet.
Wisconsin, and we're probably gonna slide in Boston College as well.
Sweet.
Um,
Going all over the place. Nice.
yeah, so I'm going to the schools that I feel like can get me to where I need to be.
Yeah.
So
100%, man. Okay, so On3 is a recruiting website that I like to look at sometimes when I look at your guys' profiles. They got a thing called the recruiting prediction machine that their experts kind of predict. I don't know how they do it, but they predict, where you might go. I just like you guys to talk about the top 3 schools that they have listed. So for number 1, they have West Virginia at 64.7%. What do you like about West Virginia?
West Virginia is actually West Virginia is my first school I ever went to.
Okay,
It was
that's probably why
school
they
I-
got them pretty high.
yeah, it was the first school I ever been to. I was a sophomore. It was good. Went up there, seen them practice, talked to the coach. It was very good, but 67% is pretty crazy. But
Yeah. I
good.
don't know how they come up with these numbers. How's
Mm.
the culture over there? Because West Virginia is probably a little bit different than Washington D.C., huh?
Way different. And then mind you, West Virginia's in the mountains, so it's just
Yeah.
like whoa. Like when I went down there, it was cool, but it was good though. The culture over there is, every school got their own culture, so it's like
Yeah.
everywhere I go is just something new. So
Yeah, facts. Everything's got new taste when you go out and step out of your own realm, man.
yep,
Maryland is number 2 at 5%. What do you like about Maryland?
Maryland, that's the hometown. That's the hometown.
Gotta love
So
hometown schools, right?
yeah,
And then Temple's at 4.4%.
I haven't been to Temple, but I have talked to the coach. I
Okay.
haven't been to but from talking to the coach, he's a good man. He really wants me, and he's been on my line trying to get me, and I really appreciate that. And yeah,
Okay, sweet, man. Great intel on where you are in your recruiting process. We got you coming back in June. That's great to hear. So yeah, man, Dejon Riggs, maybe we can get you back on the podcast after your second visit. Maybe we'll see a commitment happen. Who knows? But we got 2024 3-star running back Dejon Riggs on the podcast here. Do you want to throw out your social medias so Duck fans can go follow you?
on Instagram is backdoor_dink. On Twitter is Dejon Riggs _. And I don't got Facebook or none of that other stuff.
Okay, so there you guys go. Go follow him. Go see if he's gonna become a Duck one day. He's coming back in June, guys. So be on the lookout for that. I'm your host, Dominic Peterson. This is the Ducks on 503 podcast. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Most importantly, telling your friends and family about the podcast, what helps it grow the fastest. Go Ducks, guys. I'll see you in the next pod.